Unidentified people arrived with a bulldozer and started flattening the Jack and Jill supermarket. The squad claimed it had obtained a court order to destroy the building. Some of the walls were brought down, with looters seizing the moment to pick anything they could lay their hands on. From wheat flour to plastic basins, and even old iron sheets were carried away.
Kuna notice yoyote ambayo tumeambiwa tutoke, tuko nayo.
Police officers arrived about half an hour later and engaged the looters, and tear gas came in handy.
Hao polisi ndio wamezuilia nyumba, uharibifu ya mali usifanywe, na kama ingekuwa ndio wamesindikisha, hawangezuia tena watu wasiibe mali.
More than 10 people were arrested and taken to the Kamukunji police station. Police say they had no information about the demolition of Jack and Jill. For close to 30 years now, Jack and Jill supermarket has served Kenyans. But its demolition today ushers in a new era, that of expected court battles to ensure that no more services resume here, if at all. Peter Mwangangi, NTV in OTC, Nairobi.
Unidentified people came in with a bulldozer and started demolishing Jack and Jill supermarket. The demolishers claiming they had obtained a court order to demolish the building. While some of the walls were brought down, looters took advantage and picked anything they could get their hands on. According to Jack and Jill supervisor, they were caught unaware and were not informed of the court order.
Tukujua ni nini inaendelea, kukaa kidogo tena tractor ikakuja kuchimba chimba, na hatukupatiwa notice yoyote ama order yoyote ya kuonyesha tunafaa kutoka ama kuna demolition inaendelea yoyote.
Police officers arrived later and engaged the looters, saying they had not been served with the court order to bring down the building.
We have managed to push away the crowd which was trying to loot the supermarket, and we have also managed to arrest some few people whom we shall take to court for looting. But the cause of this incident we are yet to know, because according to the information we are getting on the ground is that the place has been having a very long protracted case which has been going on in court.
Felista Zwongeshi, K24 Newscat.
The once famous Jack and Jill supermarket is now in ruins. Looters stripped the supermarket bare in a bizarre incident that saw the police literally stand by and watch the looting. It was a free scramble for all. Carry what you may affair. Much of the damage took place overnight when looting mobs descended on the unguarded supermarket, whose side walls were brought down yesterday by a mysterious demolition squad. By daybreak, the shelves were clean, and then the looting mobs came for the shelves. Every piece of what used to be the structure of the supermarket became a looter's collector's item. The ceiling board, door frames and wiring cables all found meaning in the hands of rampant thieves. The owners were nowhere in sight. Report says the land on which the supermarket was built was contested by two parties, and the situation at the scene clearly suggests one of the parties is having its way by hook or crook.
Now, what has remained of the famous Jack and Jill supermarket that has been in existence for more than 30 years is just a name, with all the goods looted and part of the building brought down. More than 120 people who were employed here are now left jobless. Masi Juma, NTV, Nairobi.
Over 600 suspects have been arrested in connection with the spate of insecurity across the country, specifically in Bungoma, Busia, Mandera and Garissa. Inspector General of Police David Kimayo says calm has returned to these counties.
Baadhi ya wale ambaye walikuwa na leta taharuki katika sehemu hiyo pia tumeweza kukabiliana nao na wameshikwa, na wengi wao wameshaenda kotini, na wengine pia wameshawachiliwa kwa poni ya court. Na kawaida saa zingine mwananchi wa kawaida akiona mtu ameshikwa na wameona kesho kutwa akiwa tena kijijini, pia wanalalamika kwamba kwa nini polisi waliwachilia.
The IG is calling upon the public to provide information to the police to assist in prosecuting these offenders rather than taking the law in their hands through mob justice. He assures that the reports will be treated with confidentiality and that the security of the witnesses will be guaranteed.
Mtu tu anaweza kuhukumiwa tukiwa na ushahidi ya kutosha. Na ushahidi wa kutosha inatokana na wananchi wenyewe. Inatokana na wale ambaye walipata shida kama hiyo. Na tunahakikishia kwamba pia usalama wao itawalinda, wataokopa zaidi kwamba tukienda kupeana ushahidi basi labda tutafuata tena zaidi. Hapana.
He further added that his phone is open to members of the public who have any important information towards curbing insecurity in the country.
Like this morning, I was being called that the chill and the supermarket, that it was being check and chill. Some people were looting some properties. So I didn't know where it was calling from, but I sent some officers to go and see what's happening.
In the Jack and Jill incident, hundreds of people spent the night outside the premise waiting for a small opportunity to take anything that was left in what was the popular Jack and Jill supermarket.
When we came back today in the morning, we were told that they came and overpowered the police at around 3 o'clock a.m. today in the morning, and they took everything that was inside. So right now, there's nothing that you can be able to salvage as a company.
On Thursday evening, a group of unknown people came with a bulldozer and started bringing down the building without consulting or warning anyone. They claimed to be carrying out an order from the court. Police arrived in time to contain the situation, even though they seemed to be overpowered by the determined looters. They engaged them in running battles as the demolition went on, clouding the entire OTC area with tear gas. More than 30 looters were arrested. For JSO at 7, I am Ashley Mungina.
May 25th. Heaps of stones and dust is what remains of the former Jack and Jill supermarket in downtown Nairobi. The mysterious events that began with the demolition of a side wall of the supermarket on Thursday ended with the breathtaking plunder of both the business and the premises by looting mobs. Every piece of what used to be the structure of the supermarket became a looter's collector's item, and even the stones that once made up the walls found meaning in the hands of rampant people out to make a kill. An event that has left Sean Nurani, the chairman of Jack and Jill Supermarkets Limited, a bitter man.
I've been operating Jack and Jill for 25 years. I started Sean Kenya another 5 years before that. And people, not only the other tenants, are there over 75 years. You know, kicking, it is unhuman. And today he has brought down my supermarket, which I built 25 years. I struggled. I built the name.
This is all the aftermath of a court tussle that has been going on for more than 5 years between Nurani and his landlord Victor Maina Ngujuri. Ngujuri wanted Nurani to vacate the premises so that he could do renovations.
Acting Chief Magistrate told us to vacate in 7 days from 21st May 2013.
But Nurani says the 7 days were not enough for him to move out.
I had 100 million shillings of goods. The supermarket was running. And it was impossible for me to vacate in that 7 days. In the meantime, I rushed to the appeal court, where I was granted a temporary order.
But even with the court order, the supermarket was bulldozed to the ground, with the police making half-hearted moves to stop the looting. And now, what remains of the famous Jack and Jill supermarket, named after the British children's comic Jack and Jill, which was amongst Nurani's favorite cartoons, is just a name.
It has taken only 3 days to bring down a name and an empire that Sean Nurani took 25 years to build. And now this rubble is what remains of a building that has been a landmark in Nairobi for more than 30 years. Mercy Juma, NTV, Nairobi.